Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
So, Andy, it was interesting. We were both with Colorado State. Whoa! Man, goodness.
Oscar Clough finishing it off.
Sets a screen, they switch. Cassell knocks it away and creates a turnover. Castle forcing the action, gets around Doncic for two. That was shifty. They can cut it to single digits. Oh, LeBron James! A ferocious flush. And a block on the other end.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. And, of course, we come to you live on all of our streams, 1310 WDPN on Facebook, on X, Twitter, and, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. For some reason, I'm only getting sound out of one side of my headphones.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything out of any.
Would you happen to know anything about that?
I'm looking at it over here.
It's just, now I'm almost losing it altogether. Like,
yeah.
I know, hard to believe, technical issues, but yeah, I'm getting that on one side of my headphone right now.
Yep, I'm looking at that. I'm going to figure that out.
All right, so Rainsburg is going to get that figured out and squared away. I have full faith and trust that it will happen. Meanwhile, text line is open for you at 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Welcome to the show. Oh, boy. Welcome to the show. We'll get this squared away. Okay, coming up today. That's just loud, but really in one ear. I'm just trying to... right. Folks, I apologize. We're just trying to get this squared away.
You sound fine, Sam. Go ahead. It's just.
I don't sound fine to me, though. That's the issue. Okay, we'll go with that and try to get this squared away. All right, boy, we sound like the Michigan football program. We're all over the place. Sharon Moore obviously got fired during the show yesterday. And this news came down about, I can't remember what time it was. Was it between 4 and 5? I think it was between 4 and 5.
Yeah, it was like 4:45-ish yesterday.
And it was like, whoa, we weren't ready for all that. So we kind of gave you the information that we had, according to the big writers, the very knowledgeable, college football writers, beat writers, Fox, ESPN, Yahoo, all the big names. And of course, when we were off the air last night, we got done at 6. Some of the information started to pour out. Like, whoa, this is okay. I would say between 6:30 and like 10 o'clock last night, it was just like one crazy cycle after another. More information being released about Sharon Moore. More, more little tidbits of the story. And you're trying to piece all this stuff together. And some of the stuff that I'm reading coming across, I'm like, geez, Louise, what is going on here? And then, you come to find out that he did get terminated with cause, effective immediately. Kind of going to backtrack a little bit here. University investigation, credible evidence that found that he had engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. And remember, this wasn't the football program. This was the school that fired him. This was the university, not the football program, not the AD. This was the university. And then he went on to say the conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and UM maintains a zero tolerance for such behavior. So according to Dan Wetzel and a couple of the other big-time college reporters, Sharon Moore then was later on detained by police in Saline, Michigan, which is just south of Ann Arbor. He turned over to police. He was turned over in Pittsfield Township for an investigation into potential charges. So a little bit later on now, Moore was eventually taken into custody at the Waukesha County Jail. Official says that was done after an alleged assault investigation took place earlier yesterday afternoon, and that the incident does not appear to be random in nature. Further specifics about the incident or any charges that Moore may be facing not known yet. This was from 12:50 this afternoon. So then Michigan names assistant coach Biff Poggi as the team's interim coach while they look for a new one. And some of the details that were coming out last night, and then a lot of folk, you know how people get on the internet and they dig and dig and dig, and they don't leave anything unturned. It was wild. And it turns out that the female that he had the inappropriate relationship with, the staffer, was kind of like directly under him as far as the Michigan football program is concerned. And her dad is was a big-time Michigan booster. And then we go on to find out that some other stuff happened. And this all started because of a tip from a DoorDash driver that was delivering something to the University of Michigan football office. And the DoorDash driver thought, well, this is kind of odd. So he told somebody within the university. They found out, started up another investigation, and this is when all this stuff just kind of hit the roof. So this does not look good, any of it, especially the reports that have been coming out. And I believe these reports to be as credible as they can be because of who's putting the information out there. Meanwhile, you've got there's that hard turn where you got to, okay, so this is going to be over here on the left. Now we go over on the right, and we as in Michigan, they have to find a new head football coach. And they got to find one here pretty quickly before you lose any more time to putting your plan in place, your philosophy, your plan on recruiting, the transfer portal, NIL opportunities, working with the school's collective, working with the university, the president, the athletic department, all this stuff. And every day that goes by that you don't have a coach, then you're missing out. Every 24-hour cycle that goes by, you know how it is now. You're getting behind the eight ball. And most, if not all, the other schools have their guy. So it's going to be tough for them to find somebody unless you could peel them away from the school that they're at now. But just some of the details, my goodness. I know y'all have been, looking at the internet and X and Facebook, and there's a lot of stuff out there. And it's not good for Sharon Moore at all. At all. He's married, has 3 kids. Apparently this staffer, her first 2 years at the university on the football staff, was making about $50,000 a year. Year 3, she got bumped up to over $90,000 a year. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And I mean, he's still in jail as far as I know right now. As of 1:00 he was. And there were stories about apparently he went to the staffer's home and he threatened to maybe kill himself, and he was threatened to kill her, and of course his wife found out about it. I mean, this was just crazy stuff Crazy stuff. And it just happened yesterday. It just was like boom, 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 one thing right after the other. So you got to know what's going on there. You just, but something, and we're going to play a clip here from Adam Schefter from ESPN. I'm going to set this up for you. Apparently, there had been some whispers and some stuff going around the Michigan program like a couple of weeks ago. And the school did an investigation then and didn't come up with anything. But then, according to Shefty, something happened. Something had to happen this week when they did a little closer investigation and they found out some of this stuff. Let's get that clip here now from ESPN's Adam Schefter.
School gathered together the coaches yesterday afternoon, the players, to inform them of Sharon Moore's firing. The school fired him for cause. And obviously, there are so many layers to this that are sad, troubling, disconcerting, and cautionary. And essentially, after his firing, he wound up being detained by police. He spent the night in Washtenaw County Jail. He's being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Now, if we go back, there had been lots of whispers and speculation about various gossipy, salacious items with the school here dating back weeks. And I believe the school looked into these situations and found no evidence whatsoever of any wrongdoing. But if the school is going to take a step on Wednesday that it did and announce that it is firing Sharon Moore for cause and saying he had an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, then clearly something this week developed that the school felt like it had irrefutable evidence and was left no other choice.
So there's Adam Schefter from ESPN. Something had to have happened this week. Maybe it was the tip from that driver. Maybe somebody said something about, you know how word travels fast. Paige Shiver is the name of the staffer. And she has taken down all of her social media pages, Instagram, Facebook. It's all gone. So that's kind of a dead giveaway that's who the person is that's involved here. Just crazy. And I'm sure a lot more stuff is going to come out. Meanwhile, Michigan is on the job search. The odds started to come out last night. Bet Online has dropped the odds for the next Michigan coach. And I'll read down some of the names on it. Is a very lengthy list. Now, some of these guys, I think there's no way in the world it's going to happen, but still. Jesse Minter is plus 250. He's with the Chargers right now. Kalen DeBoer is next at plus 275, the Alabama coach, who was at Washington, did a great job there, took the gig at Alabama, kind of on hard times. He got him into the playoffs this year, but the relationship has been a little rocky. Jed Fish is next at plus 450. Kenny Dillingham is next at plus 500. He's at Arizona State. Joe Brady, plus 900. Jeff Brom, plus 1,200. USC's Lincoln Riley, plus 1,400. UNLV's Dan Mullen at 1,400. How about this name? Brian Daboll, 1,400. Minnesota's PJ Fleck, plus 1,600. Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman is 12th on the list at plus 1,600. Manny Diaz, plus 1,800. He's at Duke. Brown's offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, at plus 800. A couple of more names here. Oh, yeah. John Gruden, plus 2,500. Brian Kelly at plus 2,500. What an absolute mess going on at the University of Michigan. The internet is alive and on fire, and it has been for the last almost 24 hours. So we'll follow that. We'll keep you up to date. If anything changes, if there's a coaching hire, something goes on with Sharon Moore, we'll have it here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Week 14 of the NFL is coming up. Browns and the Bears will get together in frigid Chicago on Sunday afternoon. College hoops is heating up a little bit. We will be talking to head basketball coach at Mount Union, Mike Fuline. We had to move coach back. We had him at 3:35. Coach will be joining us now at 4:35 this afternoon. Mike Fuline at 4:35 today here on the show. Also, on this day in sports history, and of course, it's our 3-question Thursday quiz. And let's get right to that. Question number 1. Depending on your vacation destination, do you prefer to drive or fly? When you're going away, would you rather drive? Would you rather fly? Question number 2. What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? And question number 3. How many times do you swear on a given day? And I want you to put some good thought into that. I don't want you to cheat yourself. How many times do you swear on a given day? Let us know. That's our 3-question Thursday quiz. Drop those comments on my Facebook page, show page, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, and, of course, all of our social media platforms on 1310 WDPN X, Facebook, and Twitter. Oh, and there's a bonus today. The bonus nugget on our 3-question Thursday. In one word, describe the University of Michigan football program. Just give me one word. Describe the Michigan football program. That's the bonus. That's the bonus clip of our 3-question Thursday here today on the show, 1310 WDPN. The comments are rolling in. We will get to those and check into those when we get back. Much more as we're just getting rolling on a Thursday afternoon, a 3-question Thursday on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. This salute, courtesy of Stan Cunningham Excavating, LLC, locally owned for over 4 decades and serving our area with excellence. For all of your contracting needs, call the pros at 330-532-7826. 330-532-7826. That's Stan Cunningham Excavating, LLC, on the air, saluting our troops.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
If I could be you.
And you could be me?
For just 1 hour.
If you could find a way.
To get inside.
Each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
AM1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Let's see here. Wow. Yeah. Just got some stuff sent to me in regard to the Sharon Moore situation. Wow. I mean, we're all grown-ups in the room here. We can speak on this stuff. But a lot of stories out there. Sharon Moore apparently got this staffer pregnant. Allegedly, there was a forced abortion there. He paid for it. Then he stalked her. Then her salary was doubled. All coaches meeting held without Sharon. He caught wind of it. Went to the staffer's house and kicked down the door. And it was screaming and hollering at her about ruining his life. So then the 911 call was made. He got arrested. He is still in jail, which is true. And there are 2 police cars posted outside his house in Walnut Ridge. And again, that's I officially I can probably corroborate about 80% of that stuff. But yeah, it is not a good look. Not a good situation for Sharon Moore. And it's not a good look for the Michigan football program. And I want to tell you this, and somebody put this out on social media earlier today. Michigan needs to completely 100% distance themselves and cut off any ties to do ever with Jim Harbaugh. And they're going to have to cut a lot of people loose. They need a complete redo. This program is in shambles. And look, yeah, the cheating stuff, Connor Stallions, the unethical way that they handled things, the dodging of the questions, the hiding of information was terrible, awful, embarrassing, ridiculous. But when you're talking about this kind of situation here, where it affects a lot of people, a lot of different ways, and you continue to drag the university's name through the mud, you need a complete reboot. I mean, this shows what's the term the NCAA likes to use when they come down on somebody? The lack of institutional control. This football program needs a reboot. And look, I can't speak for basketball, baseball, wrestling, hockey. I don't know about all that other stuff. Who knows? Could there be other stuff going on? Sure. But the football program is right now, if you're a Michigan alum, you have to be embarrassed beyond belief with what's going on with that football program. Absolutely embarrassed. And I know a lot of you that are Michigan alum. You have to be embarrassed. You need to call for change because it's bad. It's really bad. All right, news is coming up next, 1310. WDPN back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show right after this.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. A federal judge has ordered the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from immigration detention while he fights to stay in the United States. The decision marks a significant win for Abrego Garcia, whose wrongful deportation to El Salvador became a flashpoint of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Today, the judge in Maryland ruled that Immigration and Customs Enforcement had no legal basis to detain the man. The Department of Homeland Security criticized the decision and plans to appeal. Abrego Garcia, who has an American wife and child, is also seeking asylum in the U.S. and faces criminal charges in Tennessee. The Senate failed to pass either the Democratic or Republican proposals to address the rising cost of private health insurance. The GOP plan was to put up to $1,500 into health savings accounts. Democrats wanted to extend expiring ACA subsidies. Neither proposal met the Senate's 60-vote threshold. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke following today's vote.
Republicans just blocked the Democrats' bill for a clean, simple extension of the ACA tax credits. The last chance they had to ensure people's premiums do not skyrocket in the coming months.
The man accused of murdering conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University in September was in court in person for the first time today. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
All right. Physically in court for the first time rather than by video link, Tyler Robinson, accused of murdering Charlie Kirk, appeared thin, wearing a light blue dress shirt and tie, at times seen adjusting that tie. Before court started, he was chatting, smiling, and chuckling with his attorneys.
Counsel, as we're moving forward today,
the judge said the hearing was to deal with a couple of issues, including updating the gag order, court security, and attempts by the media to unseal case documents. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Washington State is under a state of emergency from a barrage of torrential rain that sent rivers flowing over their banks, caused a mudslide to crash down on a highway, and trapped people in floodwaters. Tens of thousands of residents are under evacuation orders. The rain is threatening to bring catastrophic flooding as rivers near historic levels. It's already prompted rescues and road closures. Governor Bob Ferguson declared a statewide emergency, saying lives will be at stake in the coming days. In Skagit County, a major agricultural region north of Seattle, those within the Skagit River's floodplain have already been ordered to evacuate. It's 27 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, can't rule out an isolated flurry or two through your Thursday afternoon. A lot of clouds, glimpse of sun, a high of 28 degrees. Overnight, a mainly cloudy sky on the way with a low of 19. I am Art J. Weather from 3 News.
AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line is open 330-924-7088. 330-924-7088. Coming up here in a little bit, 4:35, we'll be talking with the head basketball coach at Mount Union, Mike Fuline, about the Purple Raiders' 8-0 start and what they've got coming up. Well, they're playing good ball. Oh, they're playing good ball. They really are. And I think a couple, and I'll talk to Coach about this, I see a team where, you can go up a level, 2 levels, 3 levels. I think this team is still kind of young enough and still learning their way a little bit. But the talent is there. I think the camaraderie is there. That they have 2 or 3 levels to get to that I think they can achieve. Like this year. And I think they're going to be an incredibly dangerous basketball team when it counts. I'm telling you, man, I see great things with this basketball team this year. And not just this year. Because like I said, they are a little young in spots. But they're almost like seasoned to a point where you don't really think about what grade some of the players are in or how many years of experience that they have. They're like playing above their years, if that makes any sense. But we'll talk to Coach Fuline coming up here at 4:35 this afternoon. Hey, I do want to say, this comes from all of us here at 1310 WDPN, myself, everybody. Thoughts and prayers with the family of former mayor of the city of Canton, Tom Burnaby. Mayor Burnaby passed away, and we send you our thoughts and love in our prayers. He was a real gentleman. He was always very cordial to me, very nice to me, always very friendly, and I know he was that way with everybody else. And so we just want to send our well wishes to the family. Rest in peace, Mayor Tom Burnaby, as we lost him earlier. So we just I wanted to get that out there before we went any further. All right, our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day, which is actually a Thursday, right? So it's a 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, depending on the vacation destination, do you prefer to fly or drive? Question number 2, what's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Question number 3, how many times do you swear on a given day? And I want you to be as honest as you can. How many times a day do you swear? And then we've got a bonus today. In one word, describe the University of Michigan football program. Get those comments in. Text them 330-924-7088. And you can also drop those comments on my Facebook page, the show page, Q92 Radio YouTube channel, and the WDPN Facebook page, X page, and Twitter page. Just drop those in there anytime. By the way, while you're on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get to some of these questions here. Question 1, Marcus says he would rather fly. Favorite Christmas movie, A Wonderful Life. Marcus says he only swears 2 times a day. And one word to describe the Michigan football program, terrible. Gary says he would rather fly going on vacation. Christmas Vacation, his favorite Christmas movie. And Gary says he only swears about twice a day. Tim Bracken checking in. Hope you're well, Tim. Going on vacation, he would rather fly. His favorite Christmas movie, Christmas Vacation. He tries not to swear at all. And one word to describe the Michigan football program, dumpster fire. Doug Parton checking in. He would rather drive going to vacation. His favorite movie, A Christmas Story. He said he swears too many times during the day. Trainwreck would describe the University of Michigan football program. Dave checking in says he would rather fly. Christmas Vacation, his favorite Christmas movie. How many times a day does he swear? Infinity. He's a plumber, he says. And he says he's a Browns fan. So there, I could see maybe 300 to 400 curse words a day there. Heidi Lynn checking in says she'd rather fly to go on vacation. Christmas Vacation, her favorite movie. She tries to keep it to about 1 swear word a day. Heidi Lynn describes the Michigan football program is comical. Ron Bagley checking in. Fly to go on vacation. Favorite Christmas movie, A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. That's a classic. How many times do you swear a day, Ron? He says, I'm Italian. Are you kidding me? One word to describe the Michigan football program, clean house. We get some good comments today. I kind of want to circle back to the first one when you're going on vacation. And again, depends where you're going. But would you rather fly or drive? You can put me down for fly 99.9% of the time, especially if it's to Florida, Vegas, Arizona, Texas, obviously the far places away. I would almost rather fly than drive anywhere. And I can't tell you how many folks I have come across, even some in my extended family, that would rather drive long, far distances when they go on vacation. And I really never understood that. First of all, you're cutting into your time on vacation. Because why? Because you're spending so much time getting there, and then you've got to leave to come back home. You're putting tons of miles on your car. You're putting tons of gas, wear and tear. You've got to stop. How many times do you stop, to get gas, to get food, to get a drink, to use the restroom? And that just cuts into your time. I never really understood that. Like, I might be a little bit different here. Like, I'll drive to, like, Pennsylvania. I'll drive to Indianapolis. I'll drive to Detroit. That's it for me. I'm not driving to Myrtle Beach. I'm not driving to Orlando. I'm not driving to North Carolina. I'm not driving to Vegas. I'm not driving to Arizona. And I hear stories, oh yeah, we drove cross country. Why? Oh, it's the scenery. It's the time you spend with friends and family in the car. No, thank you. Get me to my destination as quickly as you can. Now, look, I will say this. Are there snafus at the airport? Yes. Is trying to find a parking spot at Hopkins a pain in the ass? Yes. Is airline food and drink very expensive on the flight? Yes. Standing in line for check, TSA, is it yes. But I think at the end of the day, I will take all of those negatives. I would still rather fly to my destination. I'm good in the car. For me, about 4 hours is my max. That's it. And I can tell you that because I've done the 24-hour trips, the 18-hour drives, the 13-hour trips, the 9-hour drive. We've all done them. And I've come to the conclusion that's just not ever going to happen again. Ever. Like I said, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Columbus, Indianapolis. Okay. But anything further than that, man, I'm flying if I can. And if I can't fly, there's a pretty good chance I'm just not going to go. Is anybody with me there? Like, would you absolutely rather drive 12, 15, 18, 19, 24? Would you actually rather do that than fly?
Dave on Facebook says, it took forever in my life to get on a plane. For the first time, in fact, it was in my 40s. Once I saw how fast I could get to Florida on an airplane, yeah, no, I'm not driving anywhere anymore. I'll take my chances in the air.
Yeah. Plus, he brings up, taking the chances in the air. It's statistics show you it's safer to fly than drive. It's kind of always been that way. Now, maybe not when the Wright brothers were messing around in Orville, but I mean, for the most part, it's safer to fly than drive. I kind of want to get your side speak on that as part of our 3-question Thursday. Depending on your destination, look, 4 hours is a lot different than 12 or flying from the East Coast to the West Coast. I get it. And maybe sometimes you do like to take that long extended drive. I guess I'm just not one of those people. But question number 1, your vacation destination, do you prefer to fly or drive? Question 2, what's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Question 3, how many times do you swear during the day? And we gave you a little bonus today. In one word, describe the University of Michigan football program. Where did I leave off? Mike says, I'd rather drive on vacation. Christmas Carol with Alistair Sims, his favorite Christmas movie. He says, I drive 50 minutes each way to work. Short answer, I swear a lot. Michigan program, he says, is at a crossroads. Steve writes in, it depends. Sometimes he likes to drive. Sometimes he likes to fly. Favorite Christmas movie? It's a Wonderful Life. How many times a day does he swear? He says, well, I'm out of fingers and toes already, so take that for what it's worth. Peggy checking in. She would rather drive to her vacation destination. Favorite movie? It's a Wonderful Life. How many times a day does she swear? It says, Sammy, it just depends on the day. And my guy, J.A.M. in Vegas. Fly to Hawaii. Favorite Christmas movie, Home Alone. How many times a day does Jason swear? More than he can count. And then he drops the cuss word with the laughing emoji. That's your 3-question Thursday quiz. Keep those comments coming in, and we'll keep reading those results for you on the air. Does it seem like the Cavaliers haven't played for like a month? Well, they haven't. They have not played since Saturday night. So they've been off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think they're back in action tomorrow, and I think they're in Washington. So I think that they've got the Wizards in D.C. tomorrow. But it will have been almost a week. And you know what? Probably good. Everybody banged up, bumped, bruised, just not playing well, not playing hard on defense, not scrapping on the floor, goofy lineups. Guys, can't play due to injury. Some guys resting. Some guys, those two-way contracts back and forth with the Cleveland Charge. Probably a great, and plus I believe they had played more games than anybody in the NBA. Probably a good time for them to take a break, right? I'm assuming Coach Kenny gave them a couple of complete days off. No stretching, no lifting, no running, no film. Just get away and come back and be ready to work. So maybe we'll see a little jump in how the team's playing here because, boy, the first part of the season, we're almost at the quarter pull now for everybody. The first quarter of the season for the Cavaliers has not been good at all. They look like a team who had already played 50 games, and they've only played about 22 or 23. So they're back in action tomorrow night, and hopefully they will, just get it together a little bit. I'm not saying they got to go in 10 out of 12 or 15 out of 20, but just, pick things up a little bit. Looking at the standings for the NBA, I thought at the quarter pull we would get into this. Yeah, I got to put the damn glasses on. Detroit Pistons are 19-5 in the East. New York Knicks are 17-7. The Celtics are 15-9. The Orlando Magic are 15-10. Raptors are 15-11. Philly is 13-10. The Cavaliers are 14-11, so they have already played 25 games. Miami and the Hawks also 14-11. Worst team in the East, the Wizards. They're 3-19. Let's check out the West here quick before we get to break. Oklahoma City. Are you kidding me? Rainsburg, I'm just going to, there's 25 games they've played. What's the Oklahoma City record?
Oh, yeah, no, we were talking about it yesterday. Are they 24-1 now?
24-1.
Yep.
Huh.
Okay, see.
The Nuggets, 17-6. Houston, 15-6. The Lakers are 17-7. Spurs, 17-7. The Timberwolves are 15-9. The worst team in the West, the New Orleans Pelicans, they are 3-22. Have you seen the crowds at some of the New Orleans Pelicans games down in New Orleans? Folks, that arena is 50 to 60% empty on any given night. I think that team's going to move again. New Orleans just does not support NBA basketball. Remember they had the Jazz for a little while? They played at the Superdome. Gail Goodrich, Rich Kelly, Pistol Pete. And finally they quit watching. They quit showing up. So where did they go? They went to Utah. So they're the Utah Jazz. Fast forward, years go by, decades go by. Let's put a team back in New Orleans. Let's see if it'll work again. Nope. They just don't care. They don't care about NBA basketball. And I would not be surprised if they're gone within the next 5 to 10 years. You want to relocate them? I think they're going to do that because they just don't care down there. And when, hey, nobody cares. I think you need to pack up and go. All right, we'll take a break here on the Sam Bourquin Show. It is 3:53 AM 1310 WDPN. Keep those comments coming in on our 3-question Thursday quiz. If any updates come in around Sharon Moore, we'll get those to you. But for now, we'll break and we'll come back. Stay with us.
Merry Christmas! A Merry Christmas starts with a visit to DeHaas Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping. DeHaas is bursting with festive holiday ideas for decorating and gift giving. From festive holiday centerpieces to fresh decorative arrangements for gifts, get to DeHaas to solve all your floral decoration needs. If you like to do it yourself, we have hundreds of wreaths, pines, ribbons, and novelties to make your own special holiday decorations. All are excellent quality and great values. Wind chimes, bird baths, and yard decorations make great holiday gifts. The holidays are here, so place your household and gift-giving orders today. Get to DeHaas. DeHaas Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping, 3517 Beechwood Avenue in Alliance, or visit us online at dehaas.com.
Mount Union basketball is live all season long on AM 1310 WDPN, presented by SARTA. Join myself, Sam Bourquin, and Ryan Keller courtside as we bring you every heart-pounding moment. And this year, we're taking Purple Raider hoops even farther. You can now listen live and for free on AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, the 1310X page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. Mount Union basketball lives on AM 1310 WDPN, your home for Purple Raider basketball, presented by SARTA.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
It's a 3-question Thursday here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Text line open 330-924-7088. Is that Keller checking in? He says he can go about 8 to 10 hours of driving.
Yeah, we had a few comments there while you were.
Yeah, go ahead and read those. I'm only seeing a few here.
So it was all mostly about the 3-question.
Okay, go for it.
First of all, we had nope, that's not the first one. There's the first one. We had Sean come in to answer. He says he prefers to fly. His favorite movie is Home Alone. He swears less than 5 times a day. And he says Michigan is lucky. The Wolverines are lucky to get away from Sharon, and embarrassing for now, but boy, that guy sucked.
You know, that is a good point.
I don't know if you could argue that. They beat us 4 years in a row.
Well, see, they had the cheater there.
Oh, that's very true.
Harbaugh, but then Sharon was a part of the same staff. And when Harbaugh had to take his little 4-game lead, Sharon took over the program. And then he stayed on as the head coach when Harbaugh fled, escaped, ran out to L.A. to be the coach of the Chargers. What a weasel that guy is. You know, I tried to, and I don't know why. Just my wonderful nature. I tried to give Harbaugh a little bit of a pass. Just because he's so goofy and so quirky and maybe sometimes didn't know any better. Some of the stuff he did, some of the ways he did things. I almost tried to give him a pass because I was almost like embarrassed for him a little bit. Now, the guy to me is just a straight weasel. And the Michigan football program, I said it before in this show, they need to completely cut all ties, completely distance themselves from anything, anybody, anywhere, anyhow, anywhere, anywho that has to do with Jim Harbaugh. They need a complete. I don't care if he played quarterback there. I don't care if he cheated and won a national championship there. I don't care if he's a Michigan man. What the hell does that mean, a Michigan man? Get out of here. They need to cut ties with him. They need to completely move away from anything that has to do with Harbaugh. And I say that as an Ohio State fan, as a Buckeye guy.
Keller did check in to answer as well. He checked in on YouTube. He says he prefers to drive 8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10
max.
hours, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Keller.
Man.
How do you do that?
I think like probably 5 or 6 would be my limit.
I've driven with Keller. He's a pretty good driver. Now, don't ever ask him to drive around the John Carroll campus. Because we had some trouble. I think 2 consecutive years we went up there for either football and or basketball. And, well, let's just say it was a little bit of an off-road adventure. And I think he would laugh and chuckle along with that. But Keller's a pretty good driver. He actually, one game we were coming home from, I think it was basketball. Might have even been No, it couldn't have been John Carroll. I forget. But it was through a pretty bad snowstorm. You know, like the flakes are like huge and they're just coming right at you. And you're always tempted to flick the brights, you know what I mean? Because you think it's going to help. And then it makes it look like you're going into hyperspace. And this was like a 15 or 20 minute. We were driving from somewhere. Hey, we could barely see. And he did a great job. Now, he forgot where he was supposed to drop me off. He ended up setting the GPS for his house. And he was supposed to drop me off at a place that we decided to meet up after we both got done with our jobs. We were going to meet up to go to the game that we were going to. And he set the GPS. I'm like, where are we going? What is going on? Then we had a big laugh, and then we continued to plow through the snow, but we ended up getting where we needed to get. So yeah, Keller's a pretty good driver. Just don't ask him to drive around the John Carroll campus because you might not get where you need to go. Okay, we got the news, we got the weather coming up here at the top of the hour. Jeff Mears is ready in the 1310 WDPN newsroom. We'll come back. We'll get back into the 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll check back in on the Michigan football program. We'll get you ready for head coach Mike Fuline of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union coming up at 4:35 and much, much more. So hang out with us here, 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. For a second time in a week, a federal grand jury in Virginia refusing to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud. Sources said out again, rejecting the Justice Department's attempt to refile the case after a federal judge dismissed the previous indictment based on the unlawful appointment of the U.S. Attorney in Virginia's Eastern District. Here's ABC's Catherine Foders.
The question is, what does the Justice Department do now? Are they just going to continue going back to a grand jury time after time after time again to have the charges rejected? Who knows? They could do that. But at this point, a grand jury did, in fact, reject those charges in Virginia.
In California's Bay Area, fire crews in Alameda County say 6 people have been transported to the hospital after a strong explosion and fire in Hayward. Authorities say 2 homes are impacted by the explosion. PG&E confirming a construction crew hit a gas line underground this morning prior to the explosion, but the cause still unknown. This is ABC News.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Find the most wonderful gifts at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with incredible deals on our best brands like Donna Karan, Yvette Lefebvre, Calvin Klein, and more, all at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off beauty and fragrance from Lancôme, Clinique, and Yves Saint Laurent. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star Money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Ends tonight, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Former Canton Mayor Tom Burnaby has died. He was 79. Burnaby was a Lehman High School graduate who was an alumnus of Brown University and the Ohio State University College of Law. Burnaby served a tour of duty in Vietnam and began his public service career as a Massillon assistant prosecutor in the 1970s. He later became Canton law director and also served as a Stark County commissioner. Burnaby was elected mayor as an independent in 2016 and served 2 terms. An arrest has been made in the death of a man on Canton's northeast side. 41-year-old Jake Young was found in his home in the 1600 block of St. Elmo Avenue September 2nd. A neighbor reported finding the man's body just before 6 p.m. 19-year-old Cameron Croston turned himself in to U.S. Marshals Wednesday. He's charged with murder and aggravated burglary. The neighbor told police he had gone to the home to meet the man and found the back door open. He also said the doorbell camera had been removed and was lying in the front yard. A Stark County grand jury has indicted 2 women on multiple charges, including aggravated murder in connection with the death of Jerry Morris. 70-year-old Dorothy Lowry and her daughter, 54-year-old Yolanda Lowry, were arrested October 21st at their Canton home with assistance from U.S. Marshals. Both had bond set at $1 million. Canton police say the 54-year-old Morris was found dead in Akron August 1st, but the killing is believed to have occurred in Canton on or about July 30th. The Lowrys face charges including murder, kidnapping, felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and gross abuse of a corpse. They are scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow in Common Pleas Court. Police have not released details on a motive. The Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force has made several arrests of would-be sex buyers during the holiday season. Agents arrested 38-year-old Patrick Dilworth of Petersburg and 39-year-old Randy McCauley of Canton on charges including compelling prostitution and possession of criminal tools. Dilworth had previously been convicted in a similar sting. In the last months, the task force has also arrested 11 other men, including a doctor, a former attorney, and a man in the country illegally charged with engaging in prostitution and possession of criminal tools. Stark County Commissioners have approved the $94.6 million budget for 2026, up from $93.7 million this year. County departments had requested a total of $103 million. The spending plan includes a 3% raise for employees and a 5% increase in health care costs. The criminal justice sales tax generated $38.1 million this year, making up about 75% of the general fund. Commissioners warn that a proposed elimination of property taxes, which funds 28% of the budget, could force dramatic cuts. Commissioner Richard Regula says the county is monitoring the proposal closely before any decisions are made. With a national leader providing support, YWCA Canton has put new interim management in place. Gene Truthart of YWCA USA will offer part-time remote guidance as the local board works through its leadership transition. The board has appointed nonprofit and business development executive Janelle Lee as interim CEO following the resignation of Shanna Smith, who had led the organization since 2020. Lee is expected to serve for 6 months while the board determines next steps. She brings experience from Magnet and Strengthening Stark, along with extensive civic and community leadership. Anyone Anyone interested in the permanent CEO role may contact Board President Gloria Pope at gpope@ywcacanton.org. An additional suspect in a 2021 murder case has his trial date set. 29-year-old Curtis Holland and 25-year-old Travis Kidder of East Liverpool were arrested last month on murder and aggravated murder charges. They are accused of taking part in the shooting death of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas at a home on Pennsylvania Avenue in East Liverpool. Investigators say Douglas was not the intended target of the shooting. Elvin Tisdale was sentenced to life, and Alan Tisdale received a sentence of at least 10 years in the case. Holland waived his right to a speedy trial Wednesday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. He will stand trial March 9th. A Mahoning County grand jury has indicted a man in connection with a shooting at the Oregon pub in Sebring. 53-year-old Jose Cintrone of Sebring faces one count of felonious assault with a firearm specification. He is in the county jail on $75,000 bond. Police say Cintrone pulled a gun during an argument with another man October 12th. The shot missed the man and struck a woman in the shoulder. The victim was taken to a hospital for treatment. Cintrone turned himself in after fleeing the scene. Jacob Hall has been indicted by a Mahoning County grand jury following an officer-involved shooting in Austintown. The 33-year-old was wounded November 30th after police responded to reports of homicidal and suicidal threats at his home on North Yorkshire Boulevard. Hall was treated at St. Elizabeth Health Center and is not yet in jail. He now faces one count of improperly discharging a firearm and 2 counts of aggravated menacing. The Ohio BCI is reviewing the officer's actions. Mahoning County Commissioner Kel Rigetti says she will not seek re-election next year after 4 terms. State Representative Lauren McNally of Youngstown plans to run for Rigetti's seat. The Democratic primary is February 4th. 2 Republicans, Christine Oliver and Mike Young, have announced their candidacies, while County Treasurer Dan Yema is considering a run. The city of Warren and owners of a shuttered convenience store are negotiating a settlement to resolve a lawsuit following a fatal shooting. The civil case seeks to close the convenient food mart on Elm Road, which city officials say contributed to violence. A temporary restraining order will remain in effect during negotiations. The August 3rd shooting killed 31-year-old David Owens. Savian Woodall faces murder and attempted murder charges, and 2 others face federal firearms charges. It's 26 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is up next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Little isolated flurry or 2 through your Thursday afternoon. Not much to worry about there. Cloudy skies for the most part, a high of 28 degrees. Overnight, a mainly cloudy sky with a low cold 19. Wear that warm coat. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
It was interesting. We were both with Colorado State. Whoa! Goodness. Oscar Clough finishing it off.
That's a screen. They switch. Vassell knocks it away and creates a turnover. Castle forcing the action. Gets around Doncic for 2. That was shifty. They can cut it to single digits. Oh, LeBron James! A ferocious flush. Block on the other end.
Oh, LeBron's still getting after it. Now, the Lakers get their fannies whipped last night, but he had a pretty good slam dunk, had a chase down block. How old is he again? 40 what? It's his 23rd year. He started when he was what, 19? Jeez Louise, he can still play. He can still play. And he's helping the Lakers. I mean, at the end of the day, when we read our standings earlier, they're 17-7, L.A. Now they're out of the Emirates Cup. Oh, holy cow. Stop the world. But the old man from St. Vincent St. Mary can still get it done. Welcome back, everybody. Sam Bourquin Show. Cruising on this 3-Question Thursday, AM1310 WDPN. Don't forget, if you are watching on any of our live streams, you can leave your comment in the comment section. Don't forget, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Don't forget, 4:35 today coming up. We're going to talk to the head basketball coach of the undisputed Mount Union Purple Raiders. Mike Fuline will join us today, coming up at 4:35. I did want to let everybody know when we came on, forgot about it. Ross Benjamin, Wager Talk, not going to be able to be with us today. Had a little bit of a setback. He was going to have some surgery last Thursday, and he's not quite feeling up to snuff yet. So, Ross, we're thinking about you, bud, and hopefully he'll be back with us next Thursday at 4:35 here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Nothing crazy newsworthy wise since we left you about 10 minutes ago as far as Sharon Moore and the University of Michigan. That's kind of at a standstill, so to speak, if you will. But if any new things pop up, any developments, any news, we'll be sure to pass that along. I'm still trying to kind of figure out, get a handle on who the new coach is going to be. I gave you the odds from betonline.com earlier today. They got Jesse Minter is the favorite to be the new coach, and Kalen DeBoer, the Alabama coach, is like right behind him. That's as far as the odds are concerned. But you look at the odds board and you see names of Minter, DeBoer, Kenny Dillingham, Lincoln Riley, Dan Mullen, Brian Daboll, Marcus Freeman, Josh Heupel, Manny Diaz, Tommy Reese, Dan Lanning, Brian Kelly, John Gruden. John Gruden and Brian Kelly, according to BetOnline, they're 2,500 to 1. So Vegas is essentially saying that there's no way in the world that Michigan hires either one of those guys. But it looks like Jesse Minter could be. I've had a lot of folks text me saying that they think it's going to be Kalen DeBoer, the coach at Alabama, who's kind of had a little bit of a rocky time in Tuscaloosa. But there's a lot of names on this list. They give you 22 names on this list. And I think there's some names you can throw out. Right? I think you can throw out Jeff Brom. I think you can throw out Dan Mullen. I think you can throw out PJ Fleck. I think you can throw out Marcus Freeman. I don't think he's leaving Notre Dame to go to Michigan. Now, do I think Marcus Freeman might leave Notre Dame to go to the NFL? 100% I believe that. And I think Marcus Freeman would do well. I wouldn't mind having him in Cleveland. I wouldn't mind that at all. Wouldn't it be a hoot if Kevin Stefanski got the job at Michigan after he? Oh, jeez. I think you can throw Manny Diaz out. He's at Duke. I don't think that's a fit. I don't think Manny Diaz and Ann Arbor, Michigan are a fit. I mentioned they got Tommy Reese at 1,800. No, I don't see it. I wouldn't mind seeing John Gruden get the job. I don't think Brian Kelly's a good fit there. This will be interesting. And the interesting piece of this whole thing is, when do they make their choice? Like, are they already having interviews under the cover of night? Have they already talked to some people? Is there going to be like a targeted search? I mean, is this going to be one of those wide open, hey, we're going to interview 15 guys and narrow it down to 5, get it down to 2, and then get it down to 1? I don't know. I don't know how this process is going to go. But I will say this, in today's college football world, you need to step on the gas. And they better figure out where they're going to go and what they're going to do. Because every day that passes by, you are getting behind the 8 ball. Oh, and by the way, they have a bowl game coming up. What a disaster that program is.
Sean on YouTube says, the interesting thing is when DeBoer goes to Michigan, who goes to Bama? Says Kiffin, Kirby Smart, and then what?
Lane does an about face. He leaves Mississippi, he goes to LSU, and then he's on a plane to Tuscaloosa the next day.
God, that'd be just the most brutal thing ever.
Wouldn't that be? That would be so Lane Kiffin.
Wonder if that's ever happened before.
Folks, don't think that that's crazy. Do you trust Lane Kiffin to walk across the street?
I know the Ole Miss people don't.
No. Either does Tennessee. Either does UCLA. No. I'd make sure he signed his name on that contract. Seriously. I would go find that contract, and I would make sure that the ink has 100% dried on that contract with LSU. Then I sit and I think about Matt Campbell, Mount Union guy, Perry Panther, goes to Mount, plays, coaches, goes to Toledo, goes to Iowa State, had a terrific run there, really laid the roots down in Ames. There was a love affair between Matt Campbell and Iowa State. And then after, years and years and days and thinking and comparing, and he decides to go to Happy Valley. Can you imagine if this Sharon Moore stuff would have broken a couple of days before Matt Campbell took the job to go to Penn State? Matt Campbell is what Michigan needs. They need a guy like Matt Campbell. His philosophy, his beliefs, the way of doing business, how to treat people, how to get your family involved, how to become a part of the university, a part of the city, a part of the town, a part of the fabric. That's what Michigan needs. Again, you need to scoop out all the post-Jim Harbaugh doo-doo, get it out of the program. Get as far away from the Harbaugh stuff as you can. Completely distance yourself from everything that he stood for. Get it, just back up the truck, load up the trash, and take it out. And for that matter, anything that anybody that has to do with Sharon Moore, get it out. It's poison. Clean it up. Go into Ann Arbor with your hazmat outfit on, get the spray, get the brushes, get the scrubbers, and clean it completely down to the core. Then you go you've had a chance to get a Matt Campbell. That's exactly what the University of Michigan needs. Somebody who is going to be tried and true. Somebody you can trust. Somebody who's going to instill everything that is right into the program at Michigan. But as luck and or fate would have it, the Sharon Moore stuff drops after Matt Campbell has taken the job at Penn State. Now, as far as I know, Matt Campbell, he is not the type of guy that's going to take the phone call for Michigan and have a long conversation or go have a meeting somewhere and then all of a sudden change his mind and tell the folks up at Happy Valley, I'm going to go to Ann Arbor. Matt Campbell's not going to do that. But like I said, if this stuff would have happened before Matt would have signed on with Penn State, Michigan should have thrown every resource imaginable at Matt to get him to coach the Wolverines, because he is what they need. They don't need another city slicker, fast talker, sneaky, weaselly, divisive cheater. They don't need that. They don't need anything to do with that kind of stuff. And that is the exact opposite of what Matt Campbell is. He would have been the perfect fit for Michigan. I say that as a Buckeye fan, but I also say that as a Matt Campbell fan, a Matt Campbell Perry grad, a Matt Campbell Mount Union grad, a Matt Campbell who used to coach at Toledo, and a Matt Campbell that coached at Iowa State. I say all of that, and I think Ann Arbor would have been the perfect spot. And Lord knows, he would have turned whatever Michigan needed to get turned around, he would have turned it around. And they would have won. They would have won with dignity. They would have won with class. They would have won with character. They would have won with love. They would have won with belief. They would have won with hard work, doing things the right way, not cheating and cutting corners and just being a weasel like Jim Harbaugh, or for that matter, Sharon Moore.
Dong Bobbler on YouTube says Matt Campbell would have been the new Bo.
He would have been. He would have been. And gosh, it would have been so hard for me to hate Michigan, because I think the world of Matt. I guess I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. I mean, it would have been so hard to root against him. But now he's at Penn State, and they're ready to rock up in Happy Valley. I just kind of wanted to point that out. Oh, if the Michigan job would have come open before Matt Campbell signed on the dotted line at Penn State, what kind of conversations would we be having now? You have to admit, if you have never agreed with me on anything I have ever said in all of my life in the broadcasting business, no matter what radio station I've been at, what show I've done, you have to admit I am 100% right on this. Matt Campbell is exactly what Michigan football needs or needed. I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way you can argue that. I mean, you can, but you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong, 100%. 426 is your time. We're going to take a break. Text line open 330-924-7088. Don't forget to like, share, follow, comment on all of our social media platforms, 1310 WDPN Q92, YouTube channel, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. Join us there when you can. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
High school basketball is on AM 1310 WDPN all season long. Brought to you by SARTA. I'm Christian Bigglesworth, calling boys and girls action from around the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Alliance Aviators, the Marlington Dukes, and the West Branch Warriors. And this year, listen live and free on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages and the Q92 YouTube channel. High school basketball, powered by SARTA on AM 1310 WDPN.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You hear the music, you know what time it is. It's time for Sammy B's Best Bet. We do this Monday through Friday at 4:29 here on 1310 WDPN. How about your boy? How about your boy, Sammy B? 3 wins in a row. Huh? We won again last night. We gave you Oklahoma City minus 14.5 against the Phoenix Suns. OKC won by like 40. That was easy. And we are now 2 games over the 500 mark since we've started Sammy B's Best Bet. And I think I got another good one for you tonight. We're going to go college basketball, a little rivalry game. Speaking of Iowa State, Iowa State is hosting their arch rival Iowa in Ames at the Hilton Coliseum. Iowa 8-1, Iowa State 9-0. Look at the line on this baby. Iowa State minus 10.5. Remember, they're coming off that humongous beatdown at Purdue. They just whooped the Boilermakers the other day. But they're averaging almost 95 points a game. Iowa only scores about 79. Hawkeyes have won their last game. Iowa State is still undefeated on the season. Great hometown court, home advantage. Little national TV. It's on Fox Sports 1. And even though Iowa State might be in for a letdown after upsetting number 1 Purdue on the road, they're coming back home. Vegas thinks it's going to be a big rout. I'm gonna lay the points. I'm gonna take Iowa State tonight at home, minus the 10.5 against Iowa. That's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna roll with the Cyclones. Sammy B's Best Bet tonight: Iowa State minus 10.5 against Iowa. And there you go. Sammy B's Best Bet. We do it Monday through Friday, 4:29 here on AM 1310 WDPN. The news is next. On the other side, we talk Purple Raider hoops with the head coach of Mount Union, Mike Fuline. Next.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Two competing proposals to deal with the expiration of COVID-era subsidies for private health insurance failed to advance in the U.S. Senate today. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more.
The GOP plan to put up to $1,500 into health savings accounts got 51 votes. The Democrats' plan to extend the expiring subsidies for 3 more years also received 51. But with neither proposal meeting the Senate's 60-vote threshold, both sides have come up empty in the effort to deal with the increasing cost of private health insurance. Rank-and-file Republicans in the House are now talking about 1- or 2-year extensions of the subsidies, but there's been no pledge from leadership to put those bills on the floor.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has linked the seizure of an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela to the Trump administration's anti-drug efforts. During testimony today to the House Homeland Security Committee, Noem lauded the U.S. forces' unusual move to take control of a merchant ship. She describes it as a successful move that's part of Trump's efforts to combat drug trafficking. The president told reporters Wednesday the tanker was seized, in his words, for a very good reason. Venezuela's government has called the seizure an act of international piracy. After days of heavy rain in the Pacific Northwest, floodwaters have risen to levels never before seen in some areas. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
Really, the critical time is today through about noon on Friday, because some of the biggest rivers are sitting now at record levels, including the Snohomish River north of Seattle, which has never been higher than it is right now. A state of emergency has been declared. Flooding is underway. The governor says up to 100,000 people could be evacuated. He's calling it catastrophic.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says negotiators are tackling territorial issues in U.S.-led peace talks with Russia. Discussions include the possession of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region and a Russian-occupied nuclear plant. On Wednesday, Ukraine submitted a 20-point plan to the U.S. Zelensky expressed gratitude for U.S. support, but noted uncertainties about the final documents. American negotiators suggest what's described as a free economic zone in Donbass, while Russia proposes a demilitarized zone. Zelensky held talks today with leaders from 30 allied countries, including Germany, Britain, and France. Meanwhile, Ukrainian drones hit a Russian oil rig and disrupted Moscow flights. It's 26 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A lot of clouds through your Thursday afternoon, maybe a few peaks of sunshine here and there. It's going to be cold, a little breezy, 28 degrees for the high. Overnight, a mainly cloudy sky hanging around with a low near 19. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to check in with the man, head coach Mike Fuline of the Purple Raider men's basketball team at Mount Union. That's coming up here just a minute, so we invite you to stick there. We got our 3-question Thursday quiz rolling. Question number 1, depending on your vacation destination, do you prefer to fly or drive? Question 2, what's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Question number 3, how many times do you swear on a given day? Our bonus today, in one word, describe the University of Michigan football program. You can text us anytime, 330-924-7088. You can also drop your comments on all of our social media platforms. If you're out and about today, again, kind of be careful. Slow it down in some areas. There still could be some icy patches on the roads. And oh boy, this weekend, it is going to be cold. So make sure you are prepared, especially Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. Coming up this weekend, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, right here on AM 1310 WDPN, Christian will have the call. Marlington, West Branch. 6:45 join time. Friday night on our FM, Q92, Q92radiosports.com. You can join myself and Lee Foster as we take you courtside from Jackson as the Polar Bears host their rival, the Hoover Vikings. That's tomorrow from Jackson. Tip-off around 7 right here on, it'll be on Q92. Alex will be doing my show tomorrow from Jackson beginning at 3. right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Shout out to Jeff Crocker and the crew over at Jackson for rolling out the carpets for us tomorrow. We all set with Coach?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. For the first time of many visits this basketball season, let's bring him in. The head basketball coach of the University of Mount Union, the undefeated 8-0 Purple Raiders. Here he is. Drum roll, please. Mike Fuline joining us live on the show. Coach Mike, good afternoon. We appreciate you coming on. How are you, my man?
Sammy, I'm doing well. Cold, like you said.
Oh, blustery.
Brutal out there. I miss the summer already.
It is absolutely brutal out there. It's going to get worse. We appreciate you coming on. And, wow. Hey, so far so good. I know we're still it's still kind of early. You guys are still kind of finding your way. I know you got several levels to go, I think, with this team. I think they're going to be that good. But your thoughts on the first 8 games and some of the highs and lows if you had to take a look at.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I think we have, the ability to have a really, really special year. It's, as you know, you've seen some of it. We go through some mental lapses at times, but, this is kind of a new team. I think we're all interested to see how life without Christian Parker would be, and he's such a tremendous player for us. And but we've responded well, and I didn't make it easy on him being on the road for the first 6 games. We were on a bus, I think 30 hours over those 3 weekends, and playing back to backs, so it was difficult. But when we got through those 6 games, I was proud of them, and that was a fight. Played some really good teams on the road in some gyms where it's tough to perform, and then to come home against Worcester and play a solid game. I don't know if it was a great game. Was a good start, and then obviously when you start league play, Otterbein is going to be one of those teams that is just going to be there at the end. So that was a great win for us at home, and but the real test will be in a couple days.
Yeah, I thought Otterbein, I thought, my God, they must have 15 graduate seniors on that team. And Garita, right away, I looked at the roster. Oh, yeah, he's been here 15 years. Yeah. But hey, that was a good game for you guys. Again, you had a couple of times you had to call timeout and get everybody kind of refocused, and they went out and handled their business. I did want to ask you about the start of the season. I think your first 6 were all on the road before Worcester. And I was able to watch a couple of the games via stream. And you talked about, you kind of had to create your own energy some of those nights in those gymnasiums. And was there a game or two on that opening trip, Coach, that really stood out to you and you really liked?
Yeah, I think the first one, with Penn State Harrisburg, they were a tournament team a year ago. I think they made it to the Sweet 16 2 years ago. We had went there. It's probably like my 6th year when I was at Mountain. They got us there pretty good, but very physical, up-tempo team on the road, great crowd. But we responded, man. I mean, Chance was phenomenal that game, and Eli. I think there was like 50 total, fouls called. But the one thing about this team that's different is, knock on wood, we've been able to make some free throws.
Yes,
we haven't been able to do in the past 3 or 4 years. It probably cost us a national championship. So. That's a positive thing. But that game for sure, because it was the first game, we really didn't know what we were going to be about. And then, we played Case Western Reserve. We haven't played them, since I've been here for a while. And man, they had 2 really big players that they're going to be really, really strong team in their league. And went down like 12 in the first quarter or first half and brought it up. We were up 2 at halftime and then put it away in the second half. And we've seen everything: presses, zones, traps, physical, not so physical, teams that can shoot. Like, we've seen it all, which is fun. This group, I told our coaching staff today, reminds me of a couple of our special teams that you're just able to coach them. They're not high drama and all those types of things. You're just able to prepare and talk about the game plan and coach them hard. And, I love teams like that.
It seems the games that I've seen in person, this group really loves each other. They really they get after it with the celebrations. They probably think they need to tone it down a little bit sometimes. But even during some of the tough times, you could see there was a lot of, come on, guys, come on, fellas, a little pat on the behind, a little fist bump. I think this team really enjoys each other, don't you?
I do. And that was the strength. So we knew coming in, even in the summertime, we had some early fall, we went down to, Larry Huggins's camp in the woods and spent a night there and practiced. And we talked about it. We had a great speaker in Mike Peterson, and just talked about the strengths of the team are just the togetherness. They really, really like each other. They care about each other. I think they were up for the challenge. What can we do with almost, even like Chance and Jarrett and these guys only played half a year or a year. So there was a lot of new players, but they were excited to be the next team, other than Dante, no one's won anything. He was the only one on that team from a couple years ago. I remind them of that quite a bit. Like sometimes they think they've done something and they haven't, and so as a staff, we try to just keep drilling it in them what it takes to win this league, to win a game in this league. And, they've responded really, really well. I think the one part that we always fight, every team fights, just making the extra pass, trusting the teammate. And we saw that. We had 20 assists our last game, and that should be a norm for us. You got so many guys that teams have to guard, even off the bench. I mean, we have guys that aren't even really getting any minutes right now, that you just trust each other and share it. If they're open, throw it to them and make it. If you don't, we'll try it again the next time down the floor.
That's right. Yeah, just keep doing it. Mike Fuline is our guest, head coach of Mount Union Purple Raiders here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPM. Hope to have Coach with us once a week throughout the basketball season. Today, the first visit, and off to a terrific start. I want to go back. You mentioned life without Christian Parker. What did you envision that being like early on?
Well, it's strange because even when I was coaching high school, the first time you're with the team and a guy that's been there, like the Mark Hennigers, the Brad DuPont, all those guys, and they're not there. It's just an empty feeling. It's just strange, and that was the feeling with Christian. I had him for, 5 years, with the COVID year being his first year. So it just takes a second to get used to they're not in the gym, and then you just kind of practice and then things kind of get back to normal. But when you watch film, like we'll watch the games that we played prior, the teams we played last year, and he just was the guy that, we get in trouble. We just threw it into him, and so far right now it's been by committee. I think Elijah has been tremendous for us, kind of picking up where Christian left off there. Our guard play has been phenomenal. Having Caleb back, people don't understand not having him last year was devastating to Christian too, because he's such a great defender, post defender. He does all the dirty work. He's a great talker on the floor. So him being back has been tremendous.
Mike Fuline is, I guess, the head basketball coach at Mount Union here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, all across our social media platforms, including the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Coach, I want to ask you about a couple of guys. One, he is just instant juice. And that's Kevin Hamilton, the young man from St. V, and then Youngstown State. And then how about Sean Vaden? He just looks like a mean old son of a gun down there in the paint now, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's great when they're talking to each other, because one's about 5'7" with the shoes on, and the other one's 6'11". But both tremendous human beings, And Sammy, you and I have been doing this for a long time. We've had many of these talks over the years. But as you get older in this profession, you just want to be around guys who you enjoy being around. And those are two of the best people that you can have. And that's our entire team. Like it's just fun to go to practice and to go to games. But specifically, getting Kevin, we recruited Kevin Hamilton out of high school. He went on a journey to a junior college and then to Youngstown State. And then finally, I'm friends with the Youngstown State guys, and they're like, hey, he's going to want to leave. You got to talk to him. I said, I've been trying to talk to him. So I give Drew Joyce a ton of credit. He called me and he helped me just convince him to stay closer to home. Well, we just couldn't get him on a visit. So he finally came on a visit, and then it was over. Like, I'm in, So, Deshaun's kind of the same crazy story. Just started playing. I think he only played a year or two in high school. And then came to Mount Union just to come to he was a student at the university, liked our arts and things like that. Saw him walking around. He'd play open gym with our guys. And they're like, Coach, you got to convince him to play. So the next summer, I see him and I'm like, hey, if you're interested, just, call me. So I'm on vacation, and it's that call. I'm like, who is this? And I answer it. And he's like, I want to play. I'm like, I love it. So you saw his steps. Even on film, you can see him from last year. His body,
my gosh.
Yeah, he's put on 15, 20 pounds. But the most important thing is he's played. You know, he just needed that experience. So what a great guy, man. He's a funny dude. He's like, when you watch him on the court, he's completely opposite of that. I mean, leads our Bible studies. And I'm like, dude, if you get a technical foul, like, what are you doing? You know, so but he is having pure fun out there. You know, he could care less about a lot of things, but he loves playing basketball.
And he is fun to watch. I mean, I really enjoyed every minute he gets. I'm like, we got to cherish every minute he's on the court because he's just so fun to watch.
He is.
A couple of the youngsters I wanted to catch on was, of course, Cam Weekly, the young man out of Jackson, and the young man from Maslin, Chris Knight. And I got to watch both those guys play a lot in their high school career, and I thought, boy, would they look good in purple. What's your assessment on those two young men so far?
You know, I don't like talking a lot and hyping them up too much.
Sure.
But I want to, because they're going to be tremendous, man. I mean, they're going to be, you know, as a freshman, it's hard because just trying to learn the defense and understanding, like, there's not one possession where if you're out of place and, you know, it can cost us. It can cost us a game. So I'm protected of putting them in positions where I don't think they can be successful.
Right.
But they're every day, man. I'm telling you, they're earning minutes. I mean, it's tremendous. You know, Cam, I've known since he was a young guy, and his family. I've always thought, and you know, I have my son as a great resource who played with all these guys. I always thought he was as special as they come. I loved his pace, his tempo. Everyone loves the way he shoots. I mean, he shoots the heck out of it. But you know, the way we run offense, once he gets some experience in some of these ball screens and how he comes off of those, he makes the right read, man. He's going to be great. Defensively, we're still building that, right? And it's the same as Chris. I mean, Chris is so dynamic. You know, once these guys get 10, 15 pounds, it doesn't even have to be a lot. I mean, the sky's the limit because their skill level, their ability to learn, to compete and coach. I mean, we wouldn't skip a beat with them playing, you know, 20 minutes a game, you know. So that's the hard part about coming to like our place is sometimes you just have to be so patient, you know. But the guys who are patient, man, you know, Dante hasn't really played. He's a senior. Here and there a little bit. He was on the championship runner-up team, and now he's getting his moment to play. And I just respect and love guys, you know, that show you the same commitment as you're trying to show them.
Well, you must be reading off my card over here. I'm thinking you talked about when these guys, they mature physically, mentally, they get more minutes, more everything. Do you find it might be like it's going to be really hard for you as the head coach to maybe divvy up some minutes on certain nights because you've got more than enough guys that are more than capable of going out there and keeping you right where you want to be?
Well, it's one thing Larry Karras always taught me. You never have enough good players, man. And he's right. You know, you just go through a course of a season, and whether a guy's slumping, whether there's an illness, there's an injury, you just got to always be ready. You know, you just have to be ready. You know, we've seen more zone than we've seen in years, you know, because of the two big guys that we always have on the floor. There's usually a mismatch there. So, Cam, you're in, right? Or Dante, you're in. And it just depends on the situation. But it's a great problem. It's a great problem to have. You know what really solves it is winning games. You know how that goes. Once it goes sideways, then everybody thinks they should be playing it. And they're probably right, you know, but basketball is a game where you can only play 5. But we're blessed to have those guys for sure.
No doubt. Mike Fuline is our guest, head coach of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, joining us here at 1310 WDPN. By the way, I should remind everybody, Mount Union will be on the road down in New Concord on Saturday at 1. They'll take on the Muskies. That'll be at 1 o'clock, and then the Raiders are back home. Our next broadcast here on 1310 WDPN next Tuesday, not Wednesday, next Tuesday at 7, as Baldwin Wallace will come to the Mac Center. Coach, it's a 3-question Thursday. We were able to put Jeff Dart through this every single week. Are you ready to take the quiz?
The pressure. The follow my man Dart. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, question number one. Depending on the vacation destination, do you prefer to drive or fly?
Fly with a capital FLY. Listen, man, my wife and I, we're not rich by any means, but once you have 5 kids and you go on those journeys and, to Hilton Head and the car rides, once you get to a point in life where your butt's getting on that plane, I live 5 minutes from Akron, Canton. I'll be in South Carolina an hour and 10 minutes. I don't care if I have to sell a kidney. We are flying, my friend. Fly.
I'm with you all the way. Yeah. We only have one kid. All right. Question number 2. Coach Fuline's all-time Christmas movie.
That's a tough one, man. There's some old school, movies that everyone kind of likes. But I'm telling you, whenever I watch Elf, I laugh. And then I'm a big Vince Vaughn fan. 4 Christmases, I can't. When it comes on, I can't change it. I can't change it because it's just so funny. But you can't go wrong with any Christmas movie.
All right, now this, I have to admit, this last question, I kind of had you in mind when I came up with it. And don't take offense to it. I think you'll find it very funny. How many times a day do you swear on a given day?
Oh my goodness. Well, it depends if it's game day or not game day.
Outside of the huddle, because I hear things, but
I know you're too close to me. That's the problem. It's crazy because I think people who don't know me well would be shocked, but that's my one very, very, very bad habit. And I promise you, I try so hard, and sometimes it just doesn't work. So there's over unders probably for a day. It's definitely under 5 on a non-game day, maybe under 2, but on game day, man, or a bad practice, things can get a little hazy, but it's out of love, man. It's
I know it is. I know it is. And look, if I throw Uncle Joe into the equation, oh my.
Oh, listen, now he's over.
He's
about 50 to 60, and but where do you think I learned it from? Now I tell you this. Here's the crazy part. I grew up in a home. My mother and father never swore. Never heard my mom or dad ever swear. So that's all on me. It's all on me.
I got to tell you, and I hate to even say this, one of the things that I look forward to doing a broadcast, because we're located right by the bench. And God forbid, we miss a free throw or 2 in a row, and Uncle Joe just goes on a tirade of profanity on that stool. And it's all I can do, Coach, is to not laugh.
I know. So listen, I got him behind me and my father at the end. Having a nervous breakdown. He puts himself in AFib. Now watching our last game against Muskingum last year, we win in double overtime. He's off the bench. He's talking to the fans. He's coming back on the bench. He's pacing on the sideline, and that's what I love it. Right? We've done that for so many years, but Uncle Joe, man, he then he gets me going, right? Did you see that call? It's like, listen, we used to have Sunday dinners growing up, and it was so bad. My grandma would yell at us because once one gets going, we all kind of get going. But that's sort of what it reminds me of.
Oh my God, it's so funny, Coach Mike. Always a pleasure. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Down the new Concord, and we'll see you. We'll see you at the MAC on Tuesday night. Okay. Sounds
good, brother. I'll see you, man.
Thank you. There he goes. Mike Fuline, head the basketball coach. I'm crying over here right now. At the University of Mount Union. We got you covered all season with the Raiders here on 1310 WDPN. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I want to thank Mike Fuline, head coach of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, for joining us to talk a little basketball and a little bit of life here on the show. He will be with us every week. Most likely to always be on a Thursday. It depends. We might have to shift some things around because the college basketball schedule is so herky-jerky around the holidays with games and practices and travel and off days and things like that. But Coach will be with us. He'll be on every week throughout the basketball season. I think you're going to be in for a treat for that the rest of the way. All right, we got a couple of minutes before we get to Jeff Mears, the top of the hour news here on AM 1310 WDPN. Coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get you ready for week 14 of the NFL. I believe it is. And we'll take a little look at the Browns and the Bears and some of the big games coming this weekend. We'll try to make the playoff picture become a little clearer for you. There's some good college hoops coming up this weekend, beginning tonight, actually, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll get into that. We get the 3-question Thursday quiz. Don't forget 5:29 today on this day in sports history. And do we have a treat for you? The audio portion of On This Day in Sports History, 5:29. Stick around for that. You don't want to miss it. High school basketball tomorrow night right here on 1310 WDPN. Christian will have the call. Marlington and West Branch. That's tomorrow night around 6:45. I will be over on the FM tomorrow evening with my partner Lee Fosters. We take you courtside on Q92 and Q92radiosports.com. It will be North Canton Hoover at Jackson. Pregame around 6:45 tomorrow night. It'll be on Q92. All right, that gets you to the top of the hour. Jeff Mears is ready to roll. News and weather next. One more hour to go on the other side. 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. We're learning new details about the seized Venezuelan oil tanker.
The White House says the U.S. intends to take all the oil contained in the tanker seized yesterday off the coast of Venezuela. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the vessel is going through a forfeiture process and the people on board are being interviewed as part of an investigation. She says the legal process to seize the oil will be followed. Asked if the operation was about drugs or oil, Leavitt said,
"The president is committed to stopping the illegal flow of drugs into our country. He's also fully committed to effectuating this administration's sanction policy, and that's what you saw and the world saw take place yesterday.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
In Utah, a hearing today in the murder case of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, the man suspected in that fatal shooting of Kirk in September at Utah Valley University, making his first in-person court appearance. And on Wall Street, stocks were mixed at the close of trading. This is ABC News.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics Data 5G Report United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Find the most wonderful gifts at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with incredible deals on our best brands like Donna Karan, Avec Les Filles, Calvin Klein, and more, all at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off beauty and fragrance from Lancôme, Clinique, and Yves Saint Laurent. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star Money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Ends tonight, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. A former mayor of Canton has died. Tom Burnaby passed away today at the age of 79. He was elected as an independent in 2016 and served 2 terms. Burnaby served a tour of duty in Vietnam and began his public service career as a Massillon assistant prosecutor in the 1970s. He later became Canton law director and also served as a Stark County commissioner. Burnaby was a Lehman High School graduate and an alumnus of Brown University and the Ohio State University College of Law. A death in Canton leads to an arrest. Police responded to the 1600 block of St. Elmo Avenue Northeast the evening of September 2nd. The body of 41-year-old Jake Young was found in his home. U.S. Marshals say 19-year-old Cameron Croston turned himself in Wednesday. He's charged with murder and aggravated burglary. A neighbor reported finding the victim's body just before 6 p.m. He told police he had gone to the home to meet the man and found the back door open and said the doorbell camera had been removed and was lying in the front yard. 2 women have been indicted on multiple charges, including aggravated murder and the death of an Akron man. 70-year-old Dorothy Lowry and her 54-year-old daughter, Yolanda Lowry, are facing charges including murder, kidnapping, felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and gross abuse of a corpse. Canton police say 54-year-old Jerry Morris was found dead in Akron August 1st, but investigators believe the killing occurred in Canton on or about July 30th. Police have not released information about a motive. The Lowrys were arrested October 21st at their Canton home with help from U.S. Marshals, both at bond set at $1 million. They are scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow in Stark County Common Pleas Court. Authorities say holiday season sting operations by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force have led to multiple arrests of a man attempting to buy sex. 38-year-old Patrick Dilworth of Petersburg and 39-year-old Randy McCauley of Canton were arrested on charges including compelling prostitution and possession of criminal tools, with Dilworth previously convicted in a similar sting. In recent weeks, the task force also arrested 11 other men. Most are charged with engaging in prostitution and possession of criminal tools. Those suspects include a doctor, a former attorney, and a man in the country illegally. Stark County Commissioners have set the 2026 budget at $94.6 million, despite departments requesting a total of $103 million. This year's spending plan was $93.7 million. The 2026 budget includes a 3% raise for county employees and a 5% increase in health care costs. The criminal justice sales tax generated $38.1 million this year, providing about 75% of the general fund. Commissioners are concerned about a proposed elimination of property taxes, which funds roughly 28% of the county budget. According to Commissioner Richard Regula, approval of such a measure could force dramatic cuts. Akron Canton Airport has completed a major upgrade to its sensory room, providing a relaxing space for travelers with autism and other disabilities. First introduced in 2020, the room was redesigned with guidance from the Wolf and Fan Autism Center to include the latest and therapeutic inclusive features. The airport celebrated the new space with a ribbon cutting Wednesday. CAK also offers the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program, providing travelers accessories and TSA support to signal additional assistance needs. A second man charged with aggravated murder in connection with the shooting death of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas will stand trial March 9th. 29-year-old Curtis Holland waived his right to a speedy trial Wednesday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. He and 25-year-old Travis Kidder were arrested last month. Douglas was found shot to death at a home on Pennsylvania Avenue in East Liverpool in July of 2021. Elvin Tisdale was sentenced to life, and Alan Tisdale received a sentence of at least 10 years in the case. Authorities say Douglas was not the intended target of the shooting. Holland and Kidder have pleaded not guilty. A man has been indicted on charges related to an October 12th shooting at a Sebring bar. A Mahoning County grand jury formally charged 53-year-old Jose Cintrone of Sebring. He faces one count of felonious assault with a firearm specification. Cintrone is accused of pulling a gun during an argument with another man at the Oregon pub, firing a shot that missed the man and struck a woman in the shoulder. The victim was taken to a hospital for treatment. Cintrone turned himself in after fleeing the scene. He is in the county jail on $75,000 bond. A Mahoning County grand jury has indicted 33-year-old Jacob Hall following an officer-involved shooting in Austintown. He faces one count of improperly discharging a firearm and 2 counts of aggravated menacing. Hall was wounded November 30th after police responded to reports of homicidal and suicidal threats at his North Yorkshire Boulevard home. He was treated at St. Elizabeth Health Center and is not yet in jail. The incident is under review by the Ohio BCI. Carol Righetti says she will not seek re-election in 2026 as Mahoning County Commissioner, opening the seat for new candidates. Her fourth term ends next year. State Representative Lauren McNally of Youngstown plans to run for the position and has Righetti's support. The Democratic primary is February 4th. 2 Republicans, Christine Oliver and Mike Young, have announced candidacies. County Treasurer Dan Yema is considering a run. A deadly shooting at a Warren convenience store has led to ongoing lawsuit negotiations between the city and the store's owners. The civil case seeks to close the convenient food mart on Elm Road, which city officials say allowed loitering and violated liquor laws, contributing to violence. The August 3rd shooting killed 31-year-old David Owens. Savian Woodall faces murder and attempted murder charges, while 2 others face federal firearms charges. A temporary restraining order will remain in effect during discussions. A man has been sentenced after pleading guilty to sexual contact with a minor and tampering with evidence. The pleas were entered by 53-year-old Charles Schultz of Warren, who was handed 3 years in prison. Trumbull County prosecutors say the case stemmed from an August 2024 investigation involving a 15-year-old girl, during which Schultz attempted to alter the DNA collection process. He has also been designated a Tier 2 sex offender. Governor Mike DeWine is asking the Ohio Board of Pharmacy to immediately ban synthetic kratom compounds and other dangerous derivatives. He also wants the board to consider rules for mitragynine, the natural kratom compound, through a regular hearing process. Kratom has been linked to more than 200 overdose deaths in Ohio from 2019 to 2024, and national poison control cases continue to rise. DeWine says the action balances public safety with a careful review of natural kratom. A man was killed in an overnight fire at a bar in Barberton. Firefighters responded around 11:40 Wednesday night to the 100 block of 16th Street Northwest, finding heavy smoke and flames in a second-floor apartment. The blaze was under control roughly 30 minutes later. One person was taken to Barberton Hospital. 73-year-old Danny Jenkins was found dead inside the apartment. The fire is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal and Summit County Medical Examiner. An Akron man has been sentenced to 15 to 20 and a half years in prison for drug trafficking and his role in the 2024 overdose death of Austin Gildu. 21-year-old Victor Jackson pleaded guilty to charges including involuntary manslaughter, trafficking and possession of fentanyl-related compounds, and aggravated drug trafficking. Investigators say he sold Gildu a mixture of dangerous drugs while claiming it was cocaine, and also was arrested during controlled drug buys where fentanyl was recovered. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 48,704, up 646 points. The Nasdaq Composite fell 60 points, ending at 23,593, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,901, up 14 points. It's 27 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, can't rule out an isolated flurry or 2 through your Thursday afternoon. A lot of clouds, glimpse of sun, a high of 28 degrees. Overnight, a mainly cloudy sky on the way with a low of 19. I am Art J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
So, Andy, it was interesting. We were both with Colorado State. Whoa! Goodness. Oscar Clough finishing it off.
Sets a screen, they switch. Cassell knocks it away and creates a turnover. Castle forcing the action, gets around Doncic for two. That was shifty. They can cut it to single digits. Oh, LeBron James! A ferocious flush. And a block on the other end.
Hour 3, here we go. 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Good to be with you. I want to thank head coach of the Purple Raider basketball team, Mount Union, Mike Fuline, for joining us in the 4 o'clock hour. If you missed that interview, you will want to listen to that again. That'll be up in podcast on all of our social media platforms a little bit after the show ends, a little bit after 6 o'clock tonight. Do yourself a favor. You need to go back and listen to our conversation with Coach Fuline. We have a little Browns-Bears talk coming up. We'll check in on week 14 of the NFL, some of the big games that are coming up this weekend. We've got On This Day in Sports History with a great audio clip coming up at 5:29. We'll get back into our 3-question Thursday quiz. Before we do go any further, I want to say from all of us here at 1310 WDPN Q92, our thoughts and prayers with the family of the former mayor of the city of Canton, Tom Burnaby. Tom passed away, and we just terrible news. Found that out a couple of hours ago, and just want to send our wishes, our thoughts and prayers, and some good vibes to the Burnaby family, and rest in peace, Mayor Tom. Tom Burnaby passed away earlier today. Our thoughts and prayers with the Burnaby family. All right. No Ross Benjamin today. He's still kind of recovering from some health issues. Talked to Ross this afternoon. I think he thinks he will be ready to go next Thursday, back in his regular time of 4:35 here on the show 1310 WDPN. So no Ross Benjamin and Wager Talk this weekend. He'll be back with us next Thursday. Speaking of wagering, if you missed Sammy B's Best Bet, which we bring to you Monday through Friday at 4:29 p.m., we gave you today what we hope is going to be our 4th consecutive winner. We gave you Iowa State minus 10.5 tonight at home against Iowa. That's Sammy B's Best Bet. If you missed that, we thought we'd give that to you here at the top of the hour, just in case you missed it earlier today. Our 3-question Thursday quiz. Here we go. Question number 1. Depending on your vacation destination, would you rather fly or drive? Would you rather fly or drive? Question number 2. What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? I know there's a lot out there. It's a hard question. Give that a little thought. What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Question number 3. How many times do you swear on a given day? 4 or 5? 50? None? How many times a day do you swear? What do you think? And a little bonus for you. In one word, I want you to describe the University of Michigan football program. Text your thoughts, text your comments, 330-924-7088. And you can drop your comments in all of our social media platforms in the comments section, especially on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. We would certainly appreciate that. I kind of gave you my thoughts on the whole flying and driving earlier. Now to the all-time favorite Christmas movie. And Rainsburg, I'll start with you, and then I will add my thoughts. What's your favorite Christmas movie all time?
I've been trying to give you a good answer to this. It's a tough choice.
It is tough.
It's
There's
a
some
really tough
good ones out there.
Because there's a few that I watch every year, no matter what. Like, I always watch 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler. I love that movie. I always watch The Night Before with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie. That's great. Obviously, A Christmas Story. But, God, my favorite, I don't know. It might be 8 Crazy Nights, if I'm being honest. I watch it a lot every year.
Do you know you were the first one to bring up A Christmas Story today?
No, I think we had somebody.
Did somebody?
I think somebody on YouTube said A Christmas Story.
Okay, A Christmas Story. Okay, I was going on YouTube, yeah. Facebook, though, nobody. You were the first one.
So I'm very particular about A Christmas Story because if I'm watching it any day other than Christmas Day, I want nothing to do with it. And I only want to watch it one time on Christmas Day. Because, you know, TBS used to do that thing.
24 hours.
24 hours of a Christmas Story. That is hell. Whoever thought that was a good idea, that is crazy.
But you know what, though? And I used to think, because they would do 24 hours on TNT. Now they do it on TNT, TBS, and True TV.
Oh, my God. You can't escape it.
But you know what? The ratings are incredible.
Oh, I bet.
Or else they wouldn't do it. Like, I think they put on one of those 3 stations and say like 8 or 9 in the morning. Or no, I think they put it on Christmas Eve and they just leave it on.
Yep.
And it just loops and rolls and rolls and rolls and keeps going.
And my aunt was one of those people, and that is why I now only watch it once. I can only watch it once every year.
I will say that the only time that I do watch it is Christmas Day.
Yep.
There were a couple of times where we had it on Christmas Eve late. And by late, I mean like midnight. But usually it's just Christmas Day. But I will say that I've watched it probably numerous times during Christmas Day over the last, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
25, 30 years, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely couldn't count the number of times I've watched a Christmas movie.
And I still laugh. I still laugh at the same lines every year.
Yeah.
I love when the old man cusses down at fixing the furnace.
When his little brother can't get up out of the snow.
Yeah. I just, and she's, and they're wrapping him up in the scarf, and his arms won't go down. And I just think there's so many great lines, and believe it or not, there are some people that hate that movie.
I went through a phase with that.
They think it's a horribly written movie. The acting's bad. They don't like any of the scenery. I just think I love that movie, and I do watch it at least once every Christmas, sometimes more than one. Now, did I see what is his name? Peter Billingsley? He's the guy that played Ralphie.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's at the Palace Theater.
Oh, really?
This week. Yeah, I think they're doing like a screening of the movie and then like a little Q&A or something.
Well, isn't the original house in Ohio somewhere?
Yeah,
yeah,
in Cleveland.
That's what I thought.
We've been there.
Yeah.
We actually went to the original Christmas Story house, and it was kind of like, it was crazy because the day that we went, it really captured like it was in the movie because there was snow on the ground. I was like, wow, it looked like we're just walking right onto the set of the movie. But we went, we had a great time. Of course, they had a gift shop in there, and they were, charging $40 for a tumbler and $50 for a blanket, and you know how that is. But we had a great time. We went up there. I want to say Dylan was probably 9, maybe 8 or 9 years old. And we went up there, our family, and then the in-law, we all went up there, and we had a great time. We really had a great time. But I really like that movie. Now, is it my isn't my all-time favorite. See, to me, I put this question out there, and I can't answer it.
Yeah, no, I've been trying all day to think of one.
I can't say that I have a favorite because I have so many favorites. Christmas Story is one of them.
Ooh,
Christmas
Scrooged.
Vacation is another one. I love multiple versions of A Christmas Carol.
But Scrooge does the best one.
Yeah,
100%.
There's just so many good ones out there, and there's some goofy ones. There are some goofy, like Christmas with the Cranks. I thought was pretty funny.
Christmas with the Cranks is good.
I still enjoy that. I like the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
Oh,
I kind of like those.
Yes,
I liked all those. There's just so many. I'm blanking on a lot of them, but there's so many great Christmas movies out there. Elf, I think, is a really good one. Probably not one of my all-time crazy great favorites, but I do really like that movie.
Elf is a legitimately good Christmas movie.
Yeah. Scrooge, you mentioned, is really, really good.
It's so good.
Now we've had this discussion. I've had this discussion for decades. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
I've never seen Die Hard. I just say that now. Get that out of the way.
Okay.
I'm okay with it being a Christmas movie, even though I've never seen it. I don't see how that's a bad thing. I think watching an action movie on Christmas is awesome.
Wow. See, I don't think it is.
Takes place on Christmas, right?
Yeah, I just don't think it is. But a lot of people swear by it and they love it and they watch it. And it's actually made a couple of the comments here on the Facebook section. So yeah,
we're all my Jingle All the Way fans.
Not bad. It's underrated.
I love Jingle All the Way.
It's a very, very underrated. And then if you go back, if you're going to go way back to when you were growing up, like the animated ones, Rudolph, Frosty, the Grinch. There's what's the one with the train? Polar Express.
Oh, Polar Express.
I thought was fantastic. Then there's a couple of other goofy ones out there. Like I like Deck the Halls. I don't know why. With Danny DeVito.
Okay.
And Matthew Broderick. I think it's so dumb, but it's kind of funny. I like it. Home Alone, I love.
Yeah, Home Alone's great.
Home Alone 2 is good. Home Alone 3, But I thought the first two were really good.
Nothing exists after Home Alone 2.
No. Oh, that
period.
Home Alone 3 is
full stop.
Hey, did you ever see Christmas Story 2?
Yeah.
Oh. That might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Maybe one of the worst I've ever seen.
It's very bad.
I just don't know what was the why? People come up there. What's your why? What was the why behind A Christmas Story 2?
Money.
Who felt that needed to be done?
Greed.
That was so bad. That was really, really horrible. Let me see here. Mike is chiming in. He would rather drive on vacation. Favorite movie, It's a Wonderful Life. He would say the Michigan football program is jacked up. Anthony checking in. Fly on vacation. Favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. He says, when I was in the Marines, every 2 or 3 words out of my mouth was a cuss word, but I've tried to change that over the years. Wayne checks in. Vacation, always fly. Christmas Vacation, his favorite movie. Almost never swears. One word to describe the Michigan football program, despicable.
Mark on YouTube says he drives to Myrtle Beach for vacation. His favorite movie is Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, I forgot about Chuck. Yes, Charlie Brown. That's fantastic.
He says he honestly probably swears a couple of times a day. And one word for the Michigan situation is a debacle.
Debacle. That's a good word, too. Let's see here. Dougie in the PTO says he would rather drive, but would love to take Amtrak auto train to Florida or the train through the Rocky Mountains.
Yes.
I could do that.
High-speed rail.
Yes. I could do the train. Yes.
Oh, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Favorite Christmas movie? He says it's a tie between The Santa Claus and A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sam. And question 3, how many times a day does Doug swear? Too many to count.
There you go, Doug, right here with you. I'm curious because I think the third question is pretty much just going to be us arguing over who swears more.
I will throw myself into the mix. I'm willing to bet. Now, Rainsburg might give me a run for my money.
Oh, you have no idea.
I am willing to bet I swear more than anyone in this building.
I don't know. This is what I thought was going to happen because I don't think so.
Now, I've heard you go on a couple.
I've heard you as well.
Yes. Yep. So you know that I'm speaking the truth here. And sometimes I'm almost embarrassed and ashamed.
Yep, every time.
Of how much I swear and why I swear. Like sometimes it's really for no good reason. But one little thing will set me off. And I'll go on for like 15 minutes. And it's everything under the book and everything you don't want to hear. But that's what I come with.
You see, I take solace in the fact that I definitely read somewhere at some point that people who swear more are more honest. And I took that to heart.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I'm the most honest.
Man,
I'm one of the most honest people you ever meet.
You are listening to two of the most honest people on the planet because our vocabularies are small.
Hey, the sailors can't hang with us. I mean, and there are sometimes I know I'll go on a little tirade here at the station and I'll think, oh my God, did somebody hear that? Did somebody hear what I just said?
Yeah, you'll end the sentence.
Because I just forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll think, I didn't need 3 out of 5 of those swear words.
Yeah. And like I said, sometimes it's really for no good reason. And I just let it go. And it's like, oh, hey, too late now. But it is what it is. One more quick one here. Rocky checking in says when he goes on vacation, he flies. Favorite movie, A Wonderful Life. He swears about 4 or 5 times a day. That's a lie. And one word to describe the Michigan football program, a cluster blank. See there? He swore already.
All right. Give me a number. We try to ballpark it for me.
Between 1 and what?
1 and infinite. How many times a day you swear?
Did I swear?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Right? Like
a day?
Is it times a day or amount of actual swear words? Because those are 2 different things too.
I would say that the number of swear words I use a day. And if I'm going to be 100% honest, probably well over 100.
Oh, easily. I was going to guesstimate myself somewhere between 150 and 200. And I feel like I'm still underselling that a little bit.
Yeah. I'm probably closer to 150.
I felt really ashamed when everybody joined in and was saying 4 or 5 times. I thought, oh no. They don't know.
Just think about that. Think about how bad that is.
You know what I mean? Don't think about what our general vocabulary is like.
I mean, when I was growing up, obviously I was told, right from wrong, good from bad. Don't swear. Don't use God's name in vain, which I have a terrible habit of doing.
That's my favorite. That's like one of my favorite ones.
Terrible habit of doing that. But I tried to adhere to that. But somewhere along, look, my father swore like nobody I've ever heard.
Yep.
My grandparents, not really, and my aunts and uncles a little bit. So I probably got it from my dad. But yeah, I tried not to, but it's too late, and there's no going back now.
Yeah, we're both way too far gone.
It's probably close to 200 swear words a day at this point. Oh my gosh, it's probably time for me to go to confession. Now, whether they let me in the door or not, that's a completely other.
Oh, I've never been,
different
Sam.
story. Oh, you really need to go. Holy smokes!
Duh.
On this day in sports history, 1951, Joe DiMaggio of the Yankees announced his retirement from Major League Baseball. Joltin' Joe only played for the Yankees during his 13-year career. On this day in 1971, the LA Lakers set an NBA record with 21 consecutive wins. On this day in 1981, Muhammad Ali fought his last fight. He lost in his 61st bout to Trevor Berbick. On this day in 1972, the Miami Dolphins coach Don Shula was on the cover of Time magazine. I've been waiting to play this all day. On this day in 1985, the single Super Bowl Shuffle by the Chicago Bears was released. Here it is.
Sharks HD. We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good. Blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Well, they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making more mans. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago a Super Bowl champ. And we're not doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it to feed the needy. We didn't come here to look for trouble. We just come here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
This is Speedy Willie, and I'm world class. I like running, but I love to get the pass. I practice all day and dance all night. I gotta get ready for the Sunday fight. Now, I'm as smooth as a chocolate swirl. I dance a little funky, so watch me, girl. There's no one here that doesn't like me. My Super Bowl shuffle will set you free.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle. We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down.
There it is, the Super Bowl Shuffle. Came your way back in 1985 on this day. Whew, let's take a break. News is next, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. A federal judge has ordered the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from immigration detention while he fights to stay in the United States. The decision marks a significant win for Abrego Garcia, whose wrongful deportation to El Salvador became a flashpoint of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Today, the judge in Maryland ruled that Immigration and Customs Enforcement had no legal basis to detain the man. The Department of Homeland Security criticized the decision and plans to appeal. Abrego Garcia, who has an American wife and child, is also seeking asylum in the U.S. and faces criminal charges in Tennessee. The Senate failed to pass either the Democratic or Republican proposals to address the rising cost of private health insurance. The GOP plan was to put up to $1,500 into health savings accounts. Democrats wanted to extend expiring ACA subsidies. Neither proposal met the Senate's 60-vote threshold. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke following today's vote.
Republicans just blocked the Democrats' bill for a clean, simple extension of the ACA tax credits. The last chance they had to ensure people's premiums do not skyrocket in the coming months.
The man accused of murdering conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University in September was in court in person for the first time today. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
All right. Physically in court for the first time rather than by video link, Tyler Robinson, accused of murdering Charlie Kirk, appeared thin, wearing a light blue dress shirt and tie, at times seen adjusting that tie. Before court started, he was chatting, smiling, and chuckling with his attorney.
Counsel, as we're moving forward today,
the judge said the hearing was to deal with a couple of issues, including updating the gag order, court security, and attempts by the media to unseal case documents. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Washington State is under a state of emergency from a barrage of torrential rain that sent rivers flowing over their banks, caused a mudslide to crash down on a highway, and trapped people in floodwaters. Tens of thousands of residents are under evacuation orders. The rain is threatening to bring catastrophic flooding as rivers near historic levels. It's already prompted rescues and road closures. Governor Bob Ferguson declared a statewide emergency, saying lives will be at stake in the coming days. In Skagit County, a major agricultural region north of Seattle, those within the Skagit River's floodplain have already been ordered to evacuate. It's 26 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Little isolated flurry or two through your Thursday afternoon. Not much to worry about there. Cloudy skies for the most part, a high of 28 degrees. Overnight, a mainly cloudy sky with a low cold 19. Wear that warm coat. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Brass monkey.
1310 WDPN. By request. Here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll get back into our 3-question Thursday quiz. Did you see about TJ Watt today? Pittsburgh Steelers, he was experiencing lung discomfort at the practice facility. So they took him to the hospital. He's not going to practice Thursday. And now his status for Week 15 is in question. Mike Tomlin says he'll provide more updates at the appropriate time. The Steelers will play the Dolphins Monday night. Hopefully TJ Watt is okay. You hate to hear, stuff like that. He's 31 years old now. He's appeared in all 13 of the games this year. He's registered 53 tackles and 7 sacks in those contests. Now, stat-wise, he's not having like a typical TJ Watt year. Maybe this has something to do with it. I don't know. But he had to go to the hospital today after complaining of lung discomfort. So hopefully everything will work out for him. Text line open 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Also, make sure you check us out on our social media platforms. WDPN on Facebook. Check us out there. Give us a like and a follow. Our X page, our Twitter page, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're there. We'd appreciate that. I was talking a little NFL today. The Browns and the Bears in Chicago. That's 1:00 on Sunday. Chicago is a 7.5-point favorite against the Browns. That line sounds about right. Bears are 9-4. The Browns come in at 3-10. Shedeur will get the start. That'll be a pretty fun matchup. Shedeur going up against Caleb Williams. That should be pretty good. David Njoku, questionable. Dylan Sampson, questionable. Trying to check the latest forecast in Chicago. Ooh, a high of 12. A high of 12 on Sunday and a low of -2. So it's going to be chilly in the Windy City. Some of the other games on the schedule this weekend in the NFL that are, big-time important games. The Raiders at Philly, and this is important for Philly. They got to get things back on track here. They should be able to handle the Raiders. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Ravens and Bengals on Sunday. That's a 1:00 kick. Are the Raiders going to catch the Pittsburgh Steelers? They're close. But are they going to catch and maybe surpass them? We only got a couple of weeks left. The Bills are in New England. The Patriots are playing phenomenal. Bills are pretty good, too. Buffalo's a 1.5-point favorite in New England. Keep your eyes on the Patriots on Sunday. I kind of like them a little bit. Jaguars and Jets, the reason I bring that up is because, we got Jacksonville's pick. They keep winning. Our pick gets lower in the first round. But if the Jets would lose, or if the Jets would win, I think that would get them to 4 wins. That would help the Browns as far as draft position. Chargers, Chiefs, Sunday at 1 at Arrowhead. Is this the game? Is this the day that the Chiefs dynasty dies once and for all? They're a 4.5-point favorite.
So I was just going to ask you what Vegas thinks about that.
Vegas says the Chiefs by 4.5.
They think Chiefs are going to win.
We'll see.
I think Chiefs are going to win.
Chiefs lose this game, they're done.
That's why I think they're going to win.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Let's see here. Packers Broncos should be fun. Green Bay minus 2.5 against Denver. That game is at Invesco at Mile High. I imagine it's going to be chilly out there. Denver's funny, though. You could be 60 degrees on Tuesday and 15 in snow the next day. Their weather is crazy.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Kind of like Northeast Ohio.
Grossly familiar.
So we'll see. There might be a little snow game out there in Denver on Sunday. We'll see. Lions-Rams in L.A. Rams are minus 5.5 against Detroit at SoFi. That's a 4:25 kick on Sunday. Vikings-Cowboys Sunday night. Dallas is minus 6. I don't know. I don't think that game's going to be that good. We'll see. Monday night, Pittsburgh hosting Miami. Steelers laying 3.5 against the Dolphins. So those are the big games coming up this weekend. But I got to imagine some of those places, it's going to be really, really cold. Especially the Browns and the Bears. Ooh. I want to see what it's going to be like in Denver. Let me check. See, it's 65 in Denver right now. See what I mean? That's awesome. Insane. And it's going to be like that all week. How about this? Sunday, it's going to be 62 and sunny. So no snow game for Denver and Green Bay on Sunday. What about Kansas City? Sometimes they get some goofy weather. Sunday in Kansas City, high of 23, low of 18, but just partly sunny. Any other bad weather cities this weekend? Those are the good ones. And we already told you about Chicago. Let me take a look at Chicago one more time. Make sure we're up to date here. Yeah, Sunday, high of 12, low of 3. But sunshine in Chicago on Sunday. Shador and Caleb squaring off. I wonder how that thing's going to end up. I'll probably watch a little bit of it. I'm not going to watch all of it. Depends what the weather's like around here. And I think it's going to be very chilly this weekend. I may not even want to leave the house on Sunday. 15 degrees for a high. I might not leave the house. I might not.
You're talking.
Yeah, I might not. Now, Saturday looks like it's going to be a little messy. Saturday, snow, 1 to 3 inches during the day. At night, some snow, maybe another inch, low of 8. Sunday, flurries, a high of 14. Sunday night, a low of 9. Yeah, Sunday night, I may not leave the house. I may not leave the house at all on Sunday. So whatever I need to do, I'm going to try to get it done. Because this Saturday, no Mount Union football. That stinks. I got no Mount Hoops because they're away. No high school on Saturday. So whatever I need to do to get done in and around town, I'll get that done. And Sunday I can just kind of take her easy. I think there's some basketball tournament games, not tournament game, but like classic games this weekend. If you're looking for some hoops, I think Saturday over in Maslin, they're having the Hall of Fame City Hardwood Classic. 12:30 Woodward's Chippewa, 2:00 Lake New Philly, 3:00 Berea Mid Park Hoover. That's 3:30. 5:00 Riverside Ashland, 6:30 Glen Oak Mentor, 8:00 Maslin Walsh Jesuit. Maybe I'll head over to Tiger Town Saturday. Check out a couple of high school games. We'll see if Uncle Leroy wants to go with me. My partner Lee Foster, courtside with Sammy B and Lee. Maybe he'll want to go out there and check some of that out. high school hoops for here tomorrow night. Don't forget, Christian will be on the call on 1310 WDPN as West Branch will play Marlington. That'll be around a 6:45 join time, tip around 7. And then on Q92, Q92radiosports.com tomorrow night, myself and Lee Foster, we will bring you a good one, Hoover at Jackson. That will be tomorrow night around 6:45 right on Q92 and Q92radiosports.com and all of our social media platforms. Also here on WDPN tomorrow at 3, I'll be doing the show live from Jackson. All right, so that'll be tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Talked to Jeff Crocker, AD over at the Jackson earlier today. Going to be doing the show from the catwalk tomorrow at Jackson. We're looking forward to that.
I'm sure you are.
You know me, I'm not Mr. Heights.
I wouldn't be doing that game.
I'm going to be doing the show on the catwalk. I guess we got our table set, so we'll have room for all of our crap. And I'll put it on the table and get it set up, hooked up, wired in, and we'll get ready to go. And then we'll bring you the game tomorrow night on Q92 around 7 o'clock. Our first trip to Jackson this year. Looking forward to it. And we'll come to you from the catwalk tomorrow around 3 o'clock. I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like tomorrow on our video stream. Because I am basically going to be like really snug. There's going to be like a wall like right behind me. Like literally right behind me. So I don't know how this is going to look. But we'll figure it out.
Well, the wall is better than a window.
You may have to get creative tomorrow with the graphics.
Good to know in advance.
Because I am going to be literally, you ever heard the term backs against the wall?
Yeah.
That's going to be me.
Going to be between a rock and a hard place.
That's going to be me tomorrow. But we love going over to Jackson, and we'll have some fun over there tomorrow. 3-question Thursday quiz. The comments are still coming in. Question number 1: if you drive, do you fly to your favorite destination, your favorite vacation destination? What would you rather do, drive or fly? Question 2: what's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? Question number 3: on an average day, how many times do you swear? And, we want you to be honest.
It'd be easier to tell you the amount of times I don't swear.
Rainsberg and I were very blunt and honest about how many times that we curse during the day.
I still think I undersold it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had live mics in here following us around all day?
The FCC would not be happy.
No. I mean off the air.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when we really let...
Oh, I think people would love that.
That's when we really let it go. Jim Baumgartner checks in, says, Sam, we drive on vacation no matter where. Christmas Story, his favorite movie. Too many times to count how many times he swears during the day. Mary Kay checking in. Sam, we fly. No driving for vacation. Favorite movie, Miracle on 34th Street. I love how the people have this down to like how many times. She says, I usually cuss around 3 times a day. Much more today because of family issues. So much for being a good Catholic. Smiling emoji. Hey, we've all been there. We've all been there. Dan checks in. Sam, we fly when we go on vacation. Favorite Christmas movie, Scrooged. How many times does Dan cuss a day? He says, really? It's hard to tell. Laughing emoji. Tracy checking in. She'll drive on vacation if she can. Favorite Christmas movie, Home Alone. Swearing, she says daily and probably often. And the bonus question, she says, Michigan's football program is a dumpster fire, and I'm here for all of it.
She just wants to watch the trash burn.
She just wants to watch it go right down the hill. All right, we're going to step out. We are coming up on 5:50 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Hey, the text line is open. We'd love to hear from you. 924-7088. You can drop your comments on my Facebook page and all of our social media platforms, including the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, and we'll continue to interact with you up until 6 o'clock tonight. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. 1310 WDPN.
High school basketball is on AM 1310 WDPN all season long. Brought to you by SARTA. I'm Christian Bigglesworth, calling boys and girls action from around the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Alliance Aviators, the Marlington Dukes, and the West Branch Warriors. And this year, listen live and free on the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages and the Q92 YouTube channel. High school basketball, powered by SARTA on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them, epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation. Because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
All right, we got about 8 minutes till we wrap things up here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be on location live from Jackson High School tomorrow as we bring you the program beginning at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN. We'll talk to Coach Tim DeVevick tomorrow. We're going to talk to the Jackson girls coach tomorrow, see if we can get AD Jeff Crocker on the program tomorrow. Should be fun. 3 o'clock tomorrow, live from Jackson, 1310 WDPN. And then we'll flip tomorrow night at around 7 o'clock. You can join me and Lee Foster. We take you courtside on Q92 as the Polar Bears take on the North Canton Hoover Vikings. I've made it a habit the last couple of days because of the Major League Baseball winter meetings are underway in Orlando. And I'm just kind of scrolling through, hoping maybe that something pops up and it's hashtagged Cleveland Guardians, and we make a move or we make a free agent signing or something big happens, and nothing. This has been a very quiet, it's been a quiet period. I mean, you had the Dodgers get the closer from the Mets. You had the Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, leave the Mets and go to Baltimore. And there's been a couple of like mid-sized deals, but nothing crazy. Nothing really crazy. So I guess we'll have to, we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait. Maybe something good will come our way. All right. Here is a story for Keller. Don't know if he's listening or not, but he already knows this. ESPN's final season of Formula One broadcast set a viewing record. The network said last night it averaged 1.3 million viewers per race over the course of the 2025 season. Sunday's finale in Abu Dhabi, won by four-time F1 champion Max Verstappen, as Lando Norris finished third to win his first championship, averaged 1.5 million viewers. That's crazy. That's a lot of people for Formula One, at least in my opinion, because I don't watch it. I couldn't name you a racer. I couldn't name you anything. But those are pretty good numbers. F1 has also added a couple of more races to the United States. They're going to be in Austin, Texas next year. The Miami Grand Prix was added in 22. And, of course, the Las Vegas Grand Prix was added a season ago. So good for them. Also, I ran across this story a couple of days ago. I'm just getting around to it now. You remember the whole deal with Shohei Ohtani and his translator in the gambling story and how it always just kind of got swept under the rug? Like it just kind of went away. Well, get ready. A television drama about the gambling scandal involving Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter, Ipe Mihuzara, is in development by Starz, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The show will tell the inside story of Shohei's translator, who journeys from unemployed drifter to international icon, only to get himself tangled in a gambling scandal that rocked the sports world. This is also, again, this is coming up on Starz. It's also going to touch on the relationship between Mizuhara and Ohtani, which dates back to Ohtani's rookie season in Japan when he was 18 years old. So let's go back to June. Mizuhara began serving a 57-month prison sentence for stealing nearly $17 million to pay off gambling debts while employed by Ohtani. Mizuhara was charged with bank fraud and tax fraud, for which he faced up to 33 years in prison. This story just kind of went away. And a lot of people wonder, because it was Ohtani, he was like the guy for Major League Baseball. He's in all the commercials. He's got that great smile. Oh, by the way, he's a hell of a baseball player. They love him in LA. They love him in Japan. I like watching him play too. But it was just really weird because that was such a big story with incredible amounts of money. And there seemed to be a lot of misinformation. You know what I mean? And after a couple of weeks, that story just blew away and it was gone.
Well, it sounds like it's because Starz bought the rights to it.
I mean, now we don't get Starz, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to get it, to watch this whenever it comes out. But I just thought that, wow. It was just like poof. It was, and nobody talked about it again. It barely came up at all during the season. But hardly ever. I don't think anybody brought it up during the World Series against Toronto. But when somebody pays big money to tell a story, maybe we'll find a little something that we didn't know beforehand about that crazy time. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us here on this Thursday. Oh, if you're out and about, please be careful. There's some black ice out there, and just be careful and watch where you're headed. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job, as always, on the other side of the glass. Thanks to all of you for commenting and texting and emailing and dropping your comments on our social media platforms. We always appreciate that, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow, beginning at 3 o'clock. Don't forget, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
So I